John 1 through 4, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things were made through him, and without him nothing was made. And in him was life, and the life was the light of men. Colossians 1:15 through 17. He is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn over all creation. For by him all things were created that are in heaven and that are on earth, visible and invisible, whether thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created through him and for him, and he is before all things, and in him all things consist. At the center. Jesus at the center. If you want to add to that, you can say Jesus at the center of it all. Come on, look at your neighbor and say, Jesus is at the center of it all. I submit to you. Whether you acknowledge it or not, whether you live your life daily with that thought, with this thought, Jesus is at the center of your life. Center can be defined as the point from which an activity or process is directed or which it is focused. Here's this definition. A center can be defined as the point from which an activity, your life, a process, your pain, your joy, your happiness is directed. Do you understand that? If Jesus is at the center and he is directing your activity, he's directing your process, he's directing your pain, he's directing your bad decisions, he's directing your choices, everything, Jesus is at the center. And not only that, the definition goes on to say that it is also and or the point in which it's focused. So as Jesus is at the center of your life and he is directing your activity, your process, your joy, your pain, your suffering, your highs, your low, you are also looking back at the focal point, which is, scientists say is not really a force. Centrifugal force is when something that revolves around a center point try to move in a straight line, or try to move in a straight line, which because of that try to pull itself away from that center. Whereas centripetal, P-E-T-A-L, centripetal force, which is really a force according to scientists, that is revolving perfectly in union around that center point. There are some times in our lives where we allow, if I can use this analogy, centrifugal force to pull us away from focusing on the activity or the center, which is Jesus. But we need to have the mindset of being centripetal Christians, where our mindset, our thought, our ideas, our focus, our action, our process, our activities, our pain, our joy, our suffering is focusing back on what is at the center, which is Jesus. Jesus is at the center of your life because he's the source of your life. He gives to all life. It is, listen, it is he that gave you life. He is the fountain of life. If Jesus turned off the fountain, then guess what? This breath of life that he gives to all, it is the means by which you are sustained. You understand how you breathe in this air and it fills your lungs. He says, listen, it is God that he heaves our chest, which means he lifts and pulls up. He heaves our chest and fills our lungs and restores the vitality of our blood. This is the Jesus that rose from the dead. This is the Jesus that we serve. But is he the center of your life? Jesus, he's at the center of your life. Whether you sleep or wake, it is by him, because of him, and through him that you have life. I don't care who you think you are, how powerful you think you are, how accomplished you think you are, how trained and skilled you are. If God decides to turn off your life or stop giving that power to breathe, you will cease to exist. That's the power of the God, Jesus Christ, that we serve as Christians. We believe that he is at the center of everything, and in him all things consist. And he holds it all in his hand. It has pleased the Father to give it all to Jesus Christ. Is he at the center of your life?